What happened with Western Door Paranormal? What is the future of this channel? Well, that is what we're going to talk about. Okay, so it's been a while since I've uploaded any videos or even done any ghost hunts. So, what happened? Well, there's a couple things that actually led to that. Pretty simple, really. The first thing, COVID-19. Everything got locked down. Everything got shut down. Yes, I probably could have went out and did some cemetery footage and stuff like that and did some outlying places. But it was what it was. I didn't want to saturate the channel with just that. I still wanted to investigate the paranormal at the time and do the ghost hunts. So that was one reason. Another reason, what happened? Technology. Now, how would technology actually affect what I do? Well, again, it's actually pretty simple. I had an old movie making software and I had old camera gear. The old videos were shot in 720p. So that was all good when it came to my old software. Well, another thing, the computer that I was recording on and making the videos and doing all my editing wasn't working anymore. So when I could get it working, I had a camera that had 1080p. So I tried to move that into my editing software, which was an older software. It was Pinnacle 12. What happened? It was not recognizing the videos. So as a result, I literally had to get a new computer and all new camera gear. That takes money, that takes time. So guess what, folks? Here I am. I've got my 1080p video cameras. This one's actually a 4K. And I have a new movie making software. So here we are. We can get going. A question I get asked all the time, and I want to clarify things up a bit. Do I still run a team? Do I still run Western Door Paranormal? Is Western Door Paranormal still mine? Yes. Do I still have a team? No. Again, COVID-19 did that, and people come, people go. So it just became a logistical thing where I decided to do a lot of things on my own, which did seem to work. So nothing against teams. In Western Door Paranormal's heyday, teams were great. But now I'm just keeping it to myself. So I can also, on the spur of the moment, I'm like, hey, I can actually go do this place. Well, now I don't have to round up 5 or 6 people. I can just load my camera gear and I can go. I think I can bring better contact to you guys that way than the other way. I can certainly upload more videos. Okay, so now, what kind of videos can we expect out of Western Door Paranormal? And before I get to that, Western Door Paranormal. Yes, folks, there's a name change. Now it's Western Door Paranormal Studies. Why the change? Well, the change is so I can broaden the spectrum of what I do to a wider range of topics, if that makes sense. I can not only go to haunted locations, I can go to areas that have cryptozoology activity. I can go to UFO hotspots, and I can talk about folklore. So basically, I can tell stories now too, on top of everything else. So what does that turn into? It turns into studies. Also, now, what does that mean for the content for this channel? Well, I pretty much just laid it out right there. You're going to see me going to places that have reputations of being haunted. Of course, that's the bread and butter. Also, we're going to be able to do what I like to call cemetery safaris. You're going to see where I'm just going to go to cemeteries and I'm going to feature the graves of famous and infamous people, historical figures, and so on and so forth. I think that'll bring a whole new element to my channel. We're going to be working Grimporium from here and there. Basically, if grim history happened here, we're going to talk about it. Now, a lot of these things do accidentally go hand in hand with paranormal. Some places that have the Grimporium could also have paranormal activity. Same thing with the cemetery safaris. There could be ghost stories attached to the cemetery safaris. Also, like I just said, we're going to be doing folklore, where we're going to be talking about local legends, whether they're here or whether I'm somewhere else and I come across a good story. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to try and actually go to those locations. Um, we're going to go to areas, like I said before, where there's possible crypto activity or possible UFO activity. So, another question. Am I going to still be ghost hunting? Well, some of the locations, yes. Is it going to be largely on camera? No. And I'll tell you why. It's why I'm going to be rehashing some of the locations that we went with brand new videos. A, because of the video quality, and B, I just kind of feel I spent way too much time with some of these locations sitting in the dark, asking questions and getting, either nothing or stuff later. Does the average person want to see me sitting on a couch for 20 minutes talking to a K2 meter or a voice recorder? No. When I do ghost hunts like that, am I going to have gear with me? Of course. I'm going to have my K2 meters. I'm going to have my voice recorders. I'm going to have the extra cameras. I'm going to have my still cameras. So if I do catch something, I catch it, I'm going to share it. If I don't get anything, you're not going to have to worry about it. So I just think that's going to make the content for the channel way so much better and so more entertaining.
Let's see. What else am I possibly thinking about here that I could be missing?
So as far as I know, that is the future of Western Door Paranormal. That is why it's going to Western Door Paranormal Studies. I'm also going to try and open up comments to the newer videos. This way, if I make a mistake of some type during talking about it, you catch me on it, you can actually drop comments. Or if you have stories from some of the locations I'm going to, please feel free to comment. So I believe that's it in a nutshell. So I'm back. I'm going to bring you much better content. It's going to look better. It's going to be shinier. So I would say just lace up your shoes and prepare yourself to go on these walks. And that's exactly what they're going to be. They're going to be basically virtual ghost walks and virtual history walks. Like I said, ghost walks, Grimporium, Cemetery Safari, History Happened Here. It's all going to be on this channel. When I catch activity, yep, you're going to see it. So all I can say is hop along for the ride. With that being said, I think it's time to get out of here. Remember, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Let the walking begin.